What's up everybody, Chase here with LiberalMind.com, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing my personal experience of going to Marsoc's A&S this past August and September. For everybody that's outside of the military that does not know what Marsoc and A&S means, Marsoc pretty much stands for Marine Special Operations Command, rightfully known as the Raiders. If you guys do not know who the Raiders are, obviously go type in Google or something and type in Marine Raiders and you'll kind of get a glimpse of what they do and the missions that they obtain and have the opportunity to do. And then you can also look into the history. Most of the Marine Raiders are specifically known for World War II and what they did in the Pacific. But A&S pretty much stands for Assessment Selection, and that is how you get selected, and it's pretty much kind of like tryouts, the easiest way to explain it. And it's once you get through and you are selected, then you go to ITC. ITC pretty much stands for Individual Training Course in order to obtain that MOS of a Marine Special Operations Critical Skills Operator, or 0372. So my personal experience with going to Marsoc's A&S, obviously I went this past August and September, so I went to the most recent class and made it all the way through. There was about 190 to 200 candidates trying out for Marsoc, and after making it all the way through, only 30 enlisted guys got selected, and then on average about, I would say, right around 10 officers were selected to go to ITC. So that's a very small amount. Going into phase 2, we had about 60 or 70 people left, with enlisted and officers going to phase 2. So Marsoc A&S is pretty much split up into 2 phases. I cannot specifically talk about phase 2, mainly because I signed a non-disclosure agreement with Marsoc explaining that I would not talk about what happens during phase 2, mainly because they wanted to have or give the opportunity to everyone, that way they have, or no one has an upper edge compared to other people. Everyone goes in with the same knowledge of what, pretty much not knowing anything about phase 2, besides it's probably going to suck. And that's how they do it. They do not want anybody to know what's going on during phase 2. That way everybody has an equal opportunity and a playing field to perform and do their best within those key areas that they're assessing. But phase 1 I can completely talk about because it's all mainly physical stuff that we can all prep for if you are deciding to go or wanting to go to A&S in the future. So phase 1 is broken up into mainly all physical events. It's mainly a month long, so a month long of physical tests, as well as some basic knowledge stuff too. But the easiest way, or what I recommend to prep for phase 1, is to pretty much follow the Marsoc's training guide that the recruiters will provide to you. Following those plans are obviously the best way to get a glimpse of what you'll be doing on a regular basis during phase 1. But those training plans, obviously you focus in running, strength training, and then rucking and swimming. So those are the big 4 main areas that you'll be getting assessed during phase 1. So you'll be doing a lot of swimming at least twice a week, and then you'll do at least 1 ruck once a week, and then you'll do some regular runs for conditioning, as well as just some basic strength and like calisthenics workouts and stuff like that. But other than that, I would definitely get comfortable with rucking or hiking with pack, mainly rucking. So rucking is pretty much running with a pack, and your pack will be weighing, I think it was 50 pounds on top of, or not including water and food. So you have to have a pack that weighs that much and pretty much be able to meet the requirements for the distances that you will be tested on. So other than physical stuff, A&S is pretty much, you'll be going over basic ropes during phase 1, as well as kind of like some Marine Special Operations history and knowledge. So definitely look and stay adamant about learning those specific things that they will tell you to learn during phase 1. Definitely because it will help during phase 2. But other than that, they'll pretty much give you some nutrition classes as well as like some psychological classes. And then you'll do a lot of psychological testing just to make sure Marsoc is getting the right candidate to become Marine Raiders and to become CSOs. So that's pretty much kind of like the whole spiel about that. Now I want to share like what my thoughts are about Marsoc. Obviously, Marsoc gets a lot of good representation from the Marines. Obviously, Marine Special Operations, like the best of the best, want to go there. And my experience of going was definitely a time of my life. I definitely had the best time. And I was very happy that I got to conclude my time on active duty Marines going to Assessment Selection. It was like so fun, so much fun just because you're getting tested. It's a challenge and you're pretty much associating with like making friends with a lot of the guys that are going through with you. That if you were to be selected, you would obviously go on to ITC and become Raiders with and potentially work together in the long run. So that was definitely cool. Overall, I just had fun with all the physical stuff and all the experience with going to ANS. It was just right up my alley, and that's the best way to put it. But I would definitely recommend going to ANS, especially if you're on the edge of doing it. You'll get a good idea of what it's all about if you do go. And Marsoc always needs candidates to try out, just to give like them a steady playing field with everybody else that they can choose from. So if you definitely have thoughts about going Marsoc ANS, definitely try it. Talk to the recruiters, talk to people that have already gone, talk to people that you know that have possibly went through it and got selected. Talk to pretty much anybody that you can get your hands or talk to face and talk to them as much about it as possible. Now the sad thing is, well, not really sad, but the thing is, many military or guys that are looking to join the military want to go Marsoc right off the bat. Now that's a whole other video, but I have to say you have to have at least 2 years, I think, time in service. So they want to have more mature guys going. But those are pretty much my thoughts and my experiences about going to Marsoc. And if you guys have questions, definitely ask them below and I'll do my best to answer them as quickly as possible. And if I get a lot of good questions that I need to make a video, I'll definitely make a video going more in depth about going Marsoc. Or join the military in general. But with all that said, that's my experience going Marsoc. I definitely had the time of my life and was very happy that I went, and I wish the best of luck for everybody that is trying out in the near future. With all that said, if you like this video and want to see more videos like this, go ahead and like that like button. And then don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you on the next video.